Have you ever let someone's words or actions ruin your entire day? A careless comment, a dismissive gesture, or a sudden inconvenience, it's frustrating. But here's the truth. No one can control your emotions unless you allow it. What if you could stay calm and grounded, no matter what life throws at you? Imagine moving through the day with unshakable peace. That's not a dream, it's emotional mastery. In this video, we'll share 10 powerful Stoic lessons to help you stop reacting impulsively, release anger, and take back control of your inner world. This isn't about ignoring emotions. It's about building the mental strength to navigate life with clarity and grace. From dealing with criticism to setting boundaries and letting go of resentment, you'll gain practical tools to protect your peace and stay composed even in chaos. Let's begin your journey to true emotional freedom. Lesson 1. Your reactions are always a choice. Picture this. You're having a calm, enjoyable day. Maybe you're sipping your coffee or walking through a quiet park when suddenly someone says something rude or thoughtless. Just like that, your peace disappears, replaced with frustration or anger. You think to yourself, why did they ruin my day? But here's the truth, they didn't. You did. Because your emotions are yours to own, not theirs, not anyone else's. Nobody can control your emotional state unless you allow them to. Think of it this way. Life will always throw challenges at you, but only you get to decide how you'll respond. Let me offer a new way to think about it. Imagine wearing noise-canceling headphones in a busy city. The honking horns and chattering voices are still out there, but they can't get to you. That's how mastering your reactions works. You don't need to let the noise of other people's behavior interrupt your peace. There's a powerful truth that Stoic thinkers understood well. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. And in that response lies our growth and our freedom. When someone cuts you off in traffic or criticizes your work unfairly, it's tempting to lash out or stew in resentment. But what if you paused? That pause is where your strength lives, the ability to choose calm over chaos, patience over impulsiveness. Here's a practical, everyday scenario. Imagine you're in a meeting and a coworker shuts down your idea without a second thought. Instead of reacting instantly or holding a grudge all day, take a breath and ask yourself, is this about me or is it their own stress, insecurity, or bias speaking? By reframing it, you strip away the emotional charge and stop it from hijacking your mood. The beauty of this shift isn't about pretending you don't feel angry, hurt, or disappointed. It's about realizing that your feelings and your reactions are two separate things. Yes, those emotions are natural, but they don't have to dictate your next move. So here's a simple strategy you can start using. Pause and name the feeling. When you feel triggered, stop and identify what you're actually experiencing. Is it anger, hurt, irritation? Naming the emotion breaks the automatic reaction cycle. Reflect on why you feel that way. Is your reaction about what happened or how you're interpreting it? Choose your response based on your values. Don't let the moment hijack your integrity. Respond in a way that reflects your principles, not just your emotion. Just imagine how freeing it would feel to move through life, untouched by other people's moods or missteps. The rude comment, the careless action, the minor inconvenience. None of them can truly disturb your peace unless you let them. Each moment, you're given a choice to give away your power or to hold on to it. The next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this. Their behavior doesn't define you, your reaction does. And when you choose calm, you gain more than emotional mastery. You gain true freedom. Lesson 2. Stop expecting people to behave like you. Think about this. You've always been there for someone. You've supported them, listened, helped whenever they needed you. But then, the moment you reach out for support, suddenly they're unavailable. They don't answer. They don't show up. That sting of disappointment hits you, and you think, how could they be so inconsiderate? I would never treat them like this. But here's a hard truth. People don't operate by your rules. They act according to their own standards, not yours. Expecting others to behave, respond, or think the way you would is like trying to change the weather. It's outside your control, and clinging to that expectation only leads to frustration. Everyone is walking their own path shaped by their upbringing, beliefs, wounds, and priorities. So when someone's actions irritate or hurt you, it's often not about you at all. It's a reflection of where they are on their journey. Trying to change them, control them, that only leaves you feeling exhausted and powerless. Instead of dwelling on how people should act, try focusing on accepting them as they are. Here's an example. Let's say you work with someone who always interrupts you during meetings. You've tried to hint at it, maybe even called it out politely, but they keep doing it. Now, you could sit there fuming, waiting for the perfect moment to snap back. Or you could recognize this simple truth. Their behavior is their habit. It's not about you. By releasing the expectation that they'll suddenly change, you free yourself. You let go of the emotional burden tied to your assumptions. There's a timeless piece of wisdom that captures this perfectly. Expectations are the root of all suffering. The fewer expectations you place on how others should behave, the more you'll safeguard your peace of mind. Here's a practical way to start releasing expectations. Identify the assumption. When someone upsets you, ask yourself, what was I expecting from them? Question its realism. Is it fair or even possible to expect this person to think or act like you? Redirect your focus. Instead of trying to control their behavior, ask, how can I respond with calm and protect my peace? Adopting this mindset is incredibly liberating. The rude stranger, the distracted friend, the coworker who never says thank you, none of them can disrupt your emotional balance unless you let them. When you stop expecting others to meet your personal standards, you take back control of your emotional responses. Now, that doesn't mean you should accept disrespect or abandon your values. It means understanding this. People are who they are, not who you wish they'd be. The next time someone disappoints or frustrates you, pause and remind yourself, they're acting from their nature, not mine. And that's okay, because you get to decide how you respond. Releasing those expectations doesn't just set others free, it sets you free. Free from resentment, free from emotional fatigue, and most importantly, free to protect your peace in a world that rarely behaves the way you'd prefer. Lesson 3. Let go of the need to always be right. Think back to the last argument you had. Maybe it was something as small as the right route to take, or something more serious, like a disagreement with someone close to you. As the tension rose, did you feel that urge to prove your point, to make them see they were wrong and you were right? Most of us have felt that pull, that burning need to win the conversation, to cling to our version of reality as if our worth depended on it. But here's the deeper truth. That constant need to be right, it's draining, and more often than not, it's unnecessary. The compulsion to always be correct often stems from something deeper, an insecurity that whispers, if I'm wrong, maybe I'm not enough. But what if you let that go? What if, instead of approaching disagreements with a defensive mind, you approach them with curiosity? Ask yourself this. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be at peace? Insisting on being right can create distance. It can damage relationships, stir resentment, and feed frustration. But letting go of that need, that desire to win every discussion, can bring incredible peace. It gives you the space to respond with wisdom instead of ego. Let's say someone accuses you unfairly. Your instinct might be to fire back, correct them, defend yourself at all costs. But instead, pause and ask, is this worth my energy? Will proving them wrong truly change anything important in my life? In most situations, the answer is no. Imagine a friend insists their way of solving a problem is better than yours. Instead of pushing back or picking apart their logic, you say, "I can see where you're coming from, and I respect that." Just like that, the tension diffuses. You've preserved your peace and avoided turning a simple disagreement into a power struggle. The Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "He who is attached to his views will never grow." Letting go of the need to always be right doesn't mean abandoning your principles. It means having the wisdom to know which battles are worth fighting and which are better met with silence or understanding. Here's how to begin practicing this shift. Pause before reacting. When you feel the heat of an argument building, breathe. Give yourself a moment to consider if it's worth engaging. Seek to understand. Instead of trying to win, ask questions. Try to genuinely understand their perspective. This alone often softens the conflict. Choose your battles. Save your energy for the disagreements that truly matter, the ones that align with your values or affect meaningful outcomes. Over time, you'll notice something powerful. When you stop trying to prove yourself in every conversation, you feel lighter, freer. Arguments won't hijack your emotions anymore because you've chosen calm over pride. Your value isn't measured by how many times you've won a debate. It's reflected in how you carry yourself, how you protect your energy, and how well you preserve your inner peace. So the next time you're tempted to argue, to correct, to win, just pause and remind yourself, being right won't bring happiness, but being calm just might. And in that space between reaction and response, you'll discover the quiet strength that comes from letting go. Lesson 4. Stop letting others' words define your worth. Picture this. You're passionately sharing an idea, something you truly believe in. And then, someone cuts you off with a dismissive comment. Suddenly, the confidence you felt begins to fade. You second-guess yourself. Doubt creeps in. Why do words from someone else have the power to shake us so deeply? It's because we often allow the opinions of others to shape how we see ourselves. But here's a truth that can change your life. Your worth isn't determined by anyone else's words. It isn't dependent on their approval, criticism, or praise. When you let someone else's voice dictate your value, you give them control over your emotions. Real emotional freedom begins when you take that power back. Let's look at a simple scenario. A coworker criticizes your work not constructively, but with a harsh, almost personal tone. Your first instinct may be to defend yourself or feel discouraged. But what if, instead, you took a breath and reminded yourself, their opinion is a reflection of their mindset, not my worth. By creating that mental space, you separate their words from your identity. You protect your peace and stay centered. Marcus Aurelius said it best, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This isn't about dismissing all feedback. It's about learning to filter, knowing what to take in and what to let pass through. Constructive feedback can help you grow, but unnecessary negativity, that doesn't deserve space in your mind. Here's how to stop letting others' words define your worth. Pause before reacting. When someone's words sting, take a moment. Breathe. This pause gives you the chance to respond with intention, not impulse. Separate opinion from truth. Ask yourself, is there truth here I can use to grow? Or is this just their perspective? Keep what helps. Let go of what doesn't. Reaffirm your inner value. Your self-worth isn't something to be negotiated. It's not tied to external opinions. It's internal, permanent, and yours to own. Lao Tzu offered timeless wisdom. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Letting go of the need for constant approval doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means being selective about which voices deserve influence in your life. The next time someone's words try to shake your confidence, pause and ask, am I letting this define who I am, or can I choose to focus on what I know is true about me? That's the moment you reclaim your power, because real strength isn't about avoiding criticism. It's about knowing your value, regardless of it. When you stop letting outside voices define you, you create space for self-trust, confidence, and peace. And that kind of peace, no one can take it from you unless you hand it over. Lesson 5. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a hectic day. Your schedule is packed, your energy already stretched thin, and then your phone rings. It's a friend asking for a favor, something they could probably handle themselves. Or maybe it's a coworker dumping a last-minute task on you, assuming without asking that you'll say yes. You feel the pressure building. You want to be helpful, but you also feel overwhelmed, like your own needs just got pushed to the side. So why is saying no so difficult? The truth is, protecting your peace requires something many of us struggle with: clear boundaries. And here's what's important to understand. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're essential. Without boundaries, other people's expectations and emergencies start dictating how you spend your time, your energy, and even your emotional bandwidth. Saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself. There's a powerful truth that comes to mind. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you're constantly giving without setting limits, it's only a matter of time before you feel drained, resentful, or disconnected from your own priorities. Boundaries are how you safeguard your emotional well-being while still maintaining healthy, respectful relationships. Here's something to consider. When someone crosses your boundaries, it's not always their fault. Often, it's because we haven't clearly communicated or consistently upheld them. People can't read your mind. If you don't express what you're okay with and what you're not, they'll continue to act based on assumption. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away. It's about showing them how to treat you with the same respect you give yourself. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say you're the go-to friend everyone turns to for advice even late at night. You love being there for them, but lately, it's been leaving you drained. Instead of bottling up frustration or avoiding them, you calmly say, "I care about you, but I need my evenings to recharge. Let's catch up tomorrow instead." That one sentence is powerful, it's kind, it's honest, and most importantly, it protects your peace. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the ability to live as we wish." Living freely doesn't mean ignoring others or becoming distant. It means choosing how and where to invest your energy with intention. Boundaries give you that choice. They help you focus on what truly matters, instead of constantly reacting to others' demands. Here's how to start setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Be clear and direct. Don't hint or hope others get the message. Communicate your needs calmly and honestly. Use I statements. Speak from your experience. Say, "I need some quiet time after work," instead of, "You're always bothering me." Be consistent. Once you set a boundary, stick to it. Following through teaches others that your limits are real and that they matter. Lao Tzu offered a beautiful reminder. He who knows when to stop does not find himself in trouble. Knowing your limits and honoring them isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Boundaries aren't barriers meant to shut people out. They're bridges that lead to healthier, more balanced relationships. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, taken for granted, or pulled in too many directions, ask yourself, have I clearly expressed what I need? Am I honoring my own limits or letting them be ignored? Because the more you protect your energy, the more you show up for yourself and the world with clarity, presence, and purpose. You're not here to fix everyone's problems. Your first responsibility is to yourself. your peace, your time, and your emotional health. So protect that energy, set the boundary, and watch how much lighter, calmer, and more in control you begin to feel. Lesson 6. Detach from the opinions of others. Imagine you've just shared something that really matters to you, an idea, a creative project, or even a personal decision. You were proud of it, confident in it. But then, the room falls silent. Or worse, someone throws out a critical remark. Suddenly, that spark of pride flickers. Doubt begins to take its place. And you find yourself asking, why do their opinions affect me this much? The desire for approval is deeply rooted in us. But depending on others for validation is like chasing shadows. You'll never quite catch what you're looking for. Here's the truth. Emotional freedom begins the moment you stop letting other people's opinions define your value. Each person sees life through a different lens, shaped by their own biases, insecurities, and beliefs. What they think about you often says more about them than it ever will about you. When you internalize their opinions, good or bad, you surrender your emotional power. So why let someone else dictate your sense of self? A simple yet powerful mindset to hold on to. Your worth is not up for debate. It doesn't rise or fall based on how others see you. Let's make this real. You wear an outfit you love to work, feeling great, and someone mutters, "That's an interesting choice." In that moment, you have two options. Let that remark shake your confidence. Or remember, their comment doesn't take away my joy. When you stop seeking approval, you start living with authenticity. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." It might sound harsh, but it's freeing. Why? Because growth often means doing things others don't understand, and needing their approval will only hold you back. So how do you begin to detach from the weight of other people's opinions? Question their importance. When someone's words bother you, pause and ask, why does this opinion matter? What power do they really have over my life? Reaffirm your own values. Anchor yourself in what matters to you. Your goals, your principles, these are the compass that should guide your choices. Practice letting go. When judgment or criticism comes your way, imagine their words like leaves drifting down a stream. You see them, but you don't need to grab onto them. Lao Tzu put it perfectly. Care about people's approval, and you will always be their prisoner. Detaching doesn't mean shutting out all feedback. It means learning to filter, to accept what helps you grow, and discard what holds you back. Think of it like carrying an umbrella in a storm. The rain may fall, but it doesn't have to soak through. You protect your peace by choosing what reaches you. So next time someone's words shake your confidence, ask yourself, am I living for their approval or my own truth? By choosing detachment, you reclaim your emotional freedom. You shield your energy. You walk your path on your terms. Because your life is too important, too personal, and too powerful to be swayed by opinions that were never yours to begin with. Lesson 7. Respond with silence. Not anger. Picture this. You're in the middle of a tense conversation. Someone says something hurtful. Maybe they're trying to provoke you. Maybe they're just careless. Either way, you feel your heart pounding. Your face flushes. Your first instinct? Fire back. Say something that stings just as much. But what if instead of reacting you said nothing? Silence, when used intentionally, can be one of your greatest strengths. It doesn't mean you're conceding. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're choosing peace over chaos, clarity over impulse. Because here's the truth. The less you respond to negativity, the more peace you create in your life. Silence speaks volumes. It says, I won't let your words drag me into a place I don't belong. Let's consider a situation. You're in a meeting. A colleague tries to undermine you, making a subtle jab in front of others. You could bite back, or you could pause and stay silent. By choosing silence, you deny them what they really want, your reaction. And in that moment, you keep your dignity intact while showing everyone else who truly holds the higher ground. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, the best answer to anger is silence. Anger feeds on fuel. It needs a response to keep burning. Silence, silence, silence starves it. Choosing not to engage breaks the cycle. It protects your energy and gives you the space to respond with intention if and when it truly matters. Think of silence as a shield. It doesn't mean the conflict isn't happening. It just means you're not letting it pierce your peace. So how do you start using silence as a tool for strength? Pause before reacting. When someone says something provocative, don't jump in. Take a deep breath. Let the moment settle. Listen without defending. Often people just want to be heard, or they're projecting their own stress. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. Speak only when necessary. If a response is truly needed, let it be calm, clear, and measured. Remember, speak only if it improves upon the silence. That's not about bottling up your feelings. It's about learning when to speak, and when your silence is the loudest, most powerful answer. Silence doesn't avoid the issue. It simply gives you the room to reflect, so you can choose the most effective response, not the most emotional one. And think about this. How often have we said things in anger that we later regret? Silence prevents that regret. It gives us space to reassess, recenter, and respond with wisdom. Often, silence says what words never could. Your behavior doesn't control me, my peace does. So the next time someone tries to drag you into their storm, ask yourself, will speaking up actually help, or will silence protect me more? Choosing not to engage isn't weakness, it's mastery. It's rising above the noise, refusing to let someone else hijack your emotional state. Because sometimes, the strongest voice is the one that chooses not to speak at all. Lesson 8. Practice gratitude to dissolve anger. We've all had days like this. Nothing seems to go your way. Plans unravel. Someone says something unkind. Small inconveniences pile up until they no longer feel small. And suddenly, you're angry, frustrated. It feels like the world is against you. But what if, in that moment, you made a different choice? What if, instead of focusing on what's going wrong, you shifted your attention to what's still going right? Here's a powerful truth. You can't feel angry and grateful at the same time. Gratitude acts like a reset button for your mind. It breaks the spiral of irritation and pulls your attention toward what still holds value, what still works, what still uplifts. Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, running late. Your initial instinct might be to clench the wheel, sigh, or curse under your breath. But try this instead. Take a breath, look around, and think of just 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's the fact that you have a car. Maybe it's the opportunity you're heading toward. Or even just the music playing through the speakers. These small moments of awareness can shift your entire emotional state. Cicero once said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others." Gratitude doesn't just ease anger. It builds patience, sharpens perspective, and reminds you of what truly matters even in the middle of chaos. Here's how to make gratitude part of your emotional toolkit. Pause and reflect. When anger rises, stop and ask, what's one thing I can appreciate right now? It doesn't have to be big, just something real. Keep a gratitude journal. Each night, write down 3 things that went well that day, no matter how small. Over time, this trains your brain to seek the good, even when life gets messy. Reframe challenges. When something frustrates you, try to find the lesson or hidden opportunity within it. For example, I'm thankful for the chance to grow from this, even if the situation was painful. Let's say someone criticizes you in a harsh tone. Your first reaction might be anger, but with gratitude, you can shift your response. I'm thankful I have the maturity to listen without reacting, and maybe even something to learn, despite the delivery. Gratitude doesn't justify bad behavior. It simply keeps you from being consumed by it. The Buddha offered a perspective that brings this lesson to life. Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. If we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. If we did get sick, at least we didn't die. So, let us all be thankful. It's not about denying anger. It's about choosing to elevate your awareness above it, to focus not on what's lacking, but on what remains. The next time irritation starts creeping in, try this. Pause and ask yourself, what's one thing I can be grateful for in this moment? You'll feel it immediately. The tension begins to fade. The tightness in your chest loosens. Gratitude doesn't just quiet your anger. It replaces it with clarity, peace, and grounded perspective. Because peace isn't something you wait to find, it's something you create. One grateful thought at a time. Lesson 9. Reframe criticism as a tool for growth. Picture this. You've just shared an idea you're proud of. Maybe it was at work, during a creative project, or with a close group of friends. And then someone shoots it down. Their feedback isn't kind. It feels more like a punch than a suggestion. Your first instinct? To defend yourself, to pull back, maybe even to shut down completely. It's normal to feel that way. Criticism, especially when it comes unexpectedly, can sting. But here's a mindset shift that can change everything. What if criticism isn't an attack, but an invitation to grow? Even when it's clumsy or even harsh, criticism often carries value. It can reveal blind spots you hadn't seen. It can challenge you to think differently. It can push you to do better. When you shift your lens, you stop seeing criticism as something to fear and start viewing it as fuel for self-improvement. Let's walk through an example. You're preparing a presentation. You feel good about it until a colleague points out several flaws. Now, you could think, they're just being negative. Or you could pause and ask, is there any truth in what they're saying? What can I take from this to improve? By choosing the second response, you transform the moment. What could have been a source of bitterness becomes a stepping stone toward your next level. There's a quote that captures this beautifully. Criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish growth without destroying the roots. Of course, not all criticism is constructive. Some people speak from insecurity, envy, or just a need to bring others down. That's why discernment matters. Learn to filter the noise. Take in what helps you grow. Leave behind what doesn't. Here's how to handle criticism with a Stoic mindset. Pause before reacting. Take a moment before responding. This helps you stay grounded and clear-headed instead of reacting from ego or emotion. Consider the source. Ask yourself, is this person informed? Do they have my best interest at heart? Or are they projecting their own issues? Extract the lesson. Even poorly delivered feedback can carry a truth. Ask, is there something here I can improve on? Let's take it a step further. Imagine a family member criticizes your career path or lifestyle. You feel misunderstood, but instead of arguing, you say, I hear your concerns. I'll think about it. You've maintained your composure, shown maturity, and given yourself space to reflect without conflict. Epictetus once said, if someone speaks ill of you, do not make excuses. Instead, say, he does not know the rest of my faults, otherwise he would not have mentioned only these. That kind of humility doesn't come from weakness. It comes from emotional strength and from the wisdom of knowing you're still growing. So next time someone critiques you, ask yourself, is this feedback about me or about them? Can I grow from this? What lesson is hidden inside this discomfort? Lao Tzu reminds us, knowing others is intelligence, knowing yourself is true wisdom. When you approach criticism with a calm, open mind, it becomes a mirror, not to tear you down, but to help you see yourself more clearly. Growth rarely feels comfortable, but those who embrace discomfort, who welcome challenge instead of resisting it, they gain resilience, wisdom, and a quiet confidence that no amount of judgment can shake. So the next time criticism comes your way, don't reject it, reframe it. See it not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity. Not as an attack, but as an ally in your evolution. Lesson 10. Master the art of letting go. Imagine this. You're holding a hot coal, clenching it tightly, waiting for the right moment to throw it at someone who hurt you. But while you're standing there, ready to strike, the coal keeps burning you. The pain grows, and still you don't let go. That's exactly how resentment works. Holding on to anger, grudges, or old wounds doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It punishes you. It drains your energy, clouds your focus, and traps you in a moment that's already past. True strength doesn't lie in holding on. It lies in knowing when and how to let go. Now, letting go doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It doesn't mean saying it was okay. It simply means releasing the emotional weight that's been slowing you down so you can move freely again. The Buddha said it best. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Think about a time when someone wronged you. Maybe it was a betrayal, a harsh judgment, or a painful lie. How much time did you spend replaying that scene in your mind? How much peace did you give away, hoping they'd feel what you felt? Letting go is the antidote to that cycle. It's how you stop handing your present to your past. Picture this. You're at work, and a colleague takes credit for something you did. It stings. You stew over it, reliving it again and again. But here's the truth. The more you obsess over that moment, the more power you give it. Instead, you could choose to release it, to remember that one person's action doesn't define your worth, your work, or your future. By letting go, you don't lose power, you reclaim it. Lao Tzu offers a powerful reminder. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Letting go isn't just about releasing resentment. It's also about shedding perfectionism, the fear of failure, or the illusion of control. It's about embracing life as it is not as you wish it were, and finding peace within that acceptance. So how do you begin to let go? Acknowledge your emotions. Don't bottle them up. Feel the hurt, the anger, the sadness, but don't let them take the wheel. Reframe the experience. Ask yourself, what did this teach me? How can I grow because of it, not in spite of it? Return to the present. Letting go is a choice you make for your sake, not for theirs. Anchor yourself in what's happening now, because that's where your power truly lives. Letting go is like releasing a balloon. The longer you grip it, the more it strains your hand. But the moment you let it rise, you feel lighter, freer. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not be disturbed by what lies beyond your control. Let it go, and you will find peace." That doesn't mean you allow people to walk over you. It means you choose not to be chained to what you can't change. Every time you let go of something that no longer serves you, anger, regret, expectations, you make space for something greater. So the next time you catch yourself clinging to an old wound, ask, is this worth my peace? What would my life look like if I released this today? That one choice could open the door to a calmer, more empowered version of yourself. Because real strength isn't about holding tight. It's about having the courage to release what weighs you down and step forward with clarity and freedom. And there you have it, 10 powerful lessons to help you master your emotions and remain unshaken, no matter what life throws your way. These aren't just ideas to think about. They're tools you can carry with you every single day to protect your peace, strengthen your resilience, and reclaim your power. Remember, the goal isn't to become emotionless. It's to feel deeply and still respond with clarity, composure, and purpose. Emotional mastery isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to respond. So, keep practicing. Keep showing up for yourself. And each time you choose peace over reactivity, silence over chaos, and growth over ego, you're building a life no one can shake. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who could use a little calm in their life. And if you have lessons or stories of your own, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Thank you for being here. Until next time, stay grounded, stay mindful, and stay unbothered.